with me, Shivani Gupta. With less than a month to go for the big Karnataka elections, the BJP has played a gamble. After back-to-back meetings in the national capital, the party has finally released its much-awaited first list of candidates, 189 in number. The BJP has bet on some new faces as it faces a tough battle owing to anti-incumbency in the state. But a political bloodbath followed as several old war horses were told to step aside. After being denied tickets, several such senior leaders like former Deputy Chief Minister Jagdish Shetty and Lakshman Sawadi are up in arms, threatening the party to fight alone. We've seen the kind of damage a lot of people who fight as independents can do to their respective former parties. According to sources, BJP's mascot for Karnataka elections, Yediyurappa, is also reportedly not very happy with this ticket distribution. Even as a slew of meetings were taking place in Delhi, the former Chief Minister left for Bengaluru. Sources say many of his supporters haven't made the cut. The chaos and discord in the state unit of Karnataka is clearly visible. Will the infighting and revolt cost the BJP dearly in an already difficult battle, or will the gamble pay off? We'll take those questions to our guests in just a bit. First up, with focus on next generation leaders, BJP has hailed its first candidate list as a game changer. The list has 52 new entrants as many old faces have been dropped. According to sources, Prime Minister Narendra Modi wanted new faces to be given a chance in the upcoming elections. As many as 32 OBC candidates have been given a ticket to fight elections. 36 candidates are also from the SC category, while 16 are from the ST category in the first list. BJP has also given tickets to just 8 women, which is less than 5% of the tickets announced so far. 9 candidates, though, are doctors, 5 are lawyers, 2 are retired bureaucrats. 51 tickets have been allocated to people who belong from the Lingayat community. Remember, the Saffron Party had allotted 55 tickets to Lingayats in the last elections, 40 of them won. On the other hand, for the Congress, only 17 of their 43 Lingayat candidates that had managed to bag their seats. So clearly this equation is in favor of the BJP. Meanwhile, there are also 41 candidates belonging to the Vokalika community. Vokalikas are the second biggest bloc of a community in Karnataka after Lingayat, and BJP's tried to woo both of them just ahead of elections, increasing their respective reservation quota by 2% each. Meanwhile, the opposition is also attacking the BJP for not giving a single ticket out of the 189 to anyone from the Muslim community. Karnataka Assembly elections already expected to be a tough one for the BJP, but let's take a quick look at some of the thrilling contests that are lined up after the BJP has announced its first candidates list. So Kanakpura, the high-profile constituency, is considered to be the stronghold of Karnataka Congress chief D.K. Shivkumar. The Congress heavyweight has represented this seat since 2008, winning it 3 times in a row. He will be facing State Minister and BJP leader R. Ashoka. The BJP MLA and Revenue Minister, though, will also contest from his home seat of Padmanabhanagar. Former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is the Congress's face from Varun constituency. The BJP has fielded former Minister V. Somanna against him. Somanna will also contest from a second seat, Chamrajnagar, which is also a new seat for him because he has traditionally contested from Govindarajnagar constituency in Bengaluru. So both his new seats, both are new seats and both are considered to be Congress strongholds, mind you. Former Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy is in poll fray from Channapatna seat. He has won this seat in 2018 as well. The BJP has fielded C.P. Yogeshwara against the former Chief Minister. Of course, there will be more high-pitched battles decided as more of the candidates come out from both sides. Now, Karnataka is already considered to be a tough battle for the BJP, and now the seat distribution has created a fresh headache for them. After missing out on a ticket, former Karnataka Chief Minister Jagdish Shetty, for example, has expressed his disappointment and he has said he will contest at any cost. There are indications he will be placated as his seat hasn't been announced yet. BJP MLC R. Shankar has threatened to quit the party and vowed to fight as an independent already. Former Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka Lakshman Sawadi too has announced to quit BJP's primary membership. Denied ticket from Bengaluru's Jayanagar constituency, over 1,200 supporters of BJP's N.R. Ramesh have quit the party. They are asserting that he will stand as an independent. Minister for Fisheries S. Angara, who was a 6-time MLA from Sulia Reserve constituency, has announced his political retirement though, but he's also saying he's not going to campaign for the BJP. Given that scenario, the big debate that's coming up, will this ticket list cost the BJP in what is already a cutthroat competition in Karnataka? That's coming up with our guest in just a bit.
Many are asking me to resign as party member and follow what the people of my constituency are saying. Their first demand is to resign from party membership and also as Vidhan Parishad member.
The party has been vertically divided. It is the end of the beginning of the end, and it is going to collapse.
99% Jagdish Shetty ji will be given ticket. He is in Delhi only. Most probably that name will be cleared in Hubli city.
Let's take this to the guest joining us. We are waiting the arrival of both the BJP Congress spokesperson, but I'm joined by Pratap Kanagal, who's the JDF spokesperson in the state. B.S. Arun is senior journalist also with us. B.S. Arun, let me start with you. How do you read the gamble that the BJP has played? Is it a calculated risk that they have taken, or is it something that can come back to bite them?
Well, it's a calculated risk, no doubt about it. But then, BJP had been on the back foot for the last more than a year because of the sort of lack of performance of the government, as well as because of various, charges that were leveled against the government, like the 40%, corruption charge, 40% bribery that was to be given to the, various ministers and officials. So when this was the scenario, on top of it now, the crucial issue of, ticket distribution, the lapses perhaps in the ticket distribution has come into the open. We have seen over the last 2 days, yesterday and today, various leaders threatening to quit or having quit, saying that they won't contest, they will retire from electoral politics. This is a huge setback for the party, and mind you, this is happening in different regions of the state. In South Kendra, the coastal districts, party has denied ticket to 4 people, and several of them, almost all of them are upset. And one, as you mentioned, Angara, 6-time MLA, he has said that he won't be, campaigning for the party. Raghupati Bhatt, another MLA, has been denied ticket, and there, a person who was in the forefront of the hijab, issue, Suvarna, he has been given ticket. Like that, there is one more MLA who has been given ticket, and he has threatened to walk out and contest as an independent. Various issues like this, have been happening, and BJP will find it tough, to placate most of these people. They might placate
Mr.
Shetty,
yes,
because
Mr.
he's the former chief minister and a senior Lingayat leader from the crucial belt of Dharwad, the northern part of Karnataka. And but then the others, BJP won't be in a position to placate because
you clearly cannot be leaving so many people aside. Actually, it's not many. BJP has a history of cutting a lot of sitting MPs or MLAs. So by that standard, I wouldn't say that they've disturbed a lot of sitting people in a strength of 224. But you wouldn't be taking these decisions if you wanted to go back on them or all of them. Mr. Shetty might be an exclusion in this list because his home seat is anyways yet to be announced. But I want to go across to our BJP representative also joining us. Lakshmi Ashwan Gowda is the BJP Karnataka spokesperson. It looks like, Lakshmi ji, that you have more headaches than solutions or anything to look forward to after your first candidate list. You've got senior leaders upset. You've got heavyweights upset. Many of them are threatening to quit the party. Some are quitting. Some supporters are quitting. Workers are quitting. At another place, it's the least of your headache if somebody doesn't campaign for you. But you've got people who are threatening to contest as independents. So you've created more headaches for yourself.
Bharatiya Janata Party commitment for its Bharatiya Janata Party is not only committed to its internal democracy, but also for the democracy as a whole of the whole country. Now it is reflected in the number of lists, the lists of the candidates that is how it is today. Ever since it is out, it has created havoc in the minds of opposition parties. Those who lost confidence in and they're thinking that their prospects are bleak in the upcoming elections. Since we have not compromised in any ways in selection of the candidates, because 21st century India, young India, modern India, to represent the young India, we have selected more than 50 plus young candidates and 60 plus candidates from those who are sitting MLAs, those who are denied the ticket. We have internal democratic process, and we have consulted more than 25,000 grassroots workers right from the booth level up to a Shakti Kendra, Mahashakti Kendra.
Okay.
And we have followed much deliberative process in selecting the candidates.
Okay, fair enough. Of course, you've done your due diligence. But my question to you is, several of your senior leaders are threatening to either quit the party or fight as independents. Is that not a threat?
All of them. Not all of them. It wouldn't affect any way the prospect of the party. We have taken much deliberative steps, much calibrated steps in selecting the candidates. It wouldn't affect the prospect of the party. We are sure of winning the party. We are sure of bringing back the party to the power with a huge mandate required to form the government. We are so confident about it. Ever since the list of the candidates is out, it has created new encouragement, and it has boosted the morale of the electorate, and also
what about the fact that Mr. Yediyurappa himself doesn't seem to be very happy, and he is saying that yes, Mr. Shetty will be accommodated. Fair enough, it could happen in the second list, but you know, you've got people who after your list has come, there are of course murmurs from within the party. You cannot lay the blame on the opposition alone. It's your own party members who don't seem to be happy. But before I go across to our other guests, just quickly answer the question about Mr. Yediyurappa. He doesn't seem to be too pleased.
Madam, it is so clear that Yediyurappa ji has quit the electoral politics, but still is continued to be in the politics, strengthening the party, bettering the party. He has given due representation. His list of candidates have also been given the representation. Mostly 22 candidates have been given the representation this time. Those 22 candidates' name have been suggested by Yediyurappa ji. We have considered him, and he is participating in the entire electoral process in a way completely involved in the electoral process. He is not seem to be unhappy. He is in fact happy and very much impressed with the selection of the candidates.
Okay.
I think we don't have any issues with the Yediyurappa ji.
All right, Pratap Kanagal, how do you see what the BJP is saying? They're saying that ultimately they've done what they need to do, and they are a cutthroat party when it comes to fighting elections. Right? They're known to cut tickets of sitting MLAs, even MPs. They know how to play this game, especially when they're facing incumbency in a state. More than usual, more times than usual, they tend to do well. They're retaining states, and I'm talking about the last few years, the last decade or so. So how do you look at the first list that the BJP has announced?
Ma'am,
this is for Mr. Kanagal, please. Yes.
Yeah, basically, like we are analyzing the entire list, and and we are observing all the developments, what's happening after the announcement of the seats. See, what we observed is what we observed and noticed is, like, BJP is trying to save themselves from these allegations, and there was a lot of allegations of corruption. There was a lot of allegations of inefficiency, and a lot of opposition from within the party. For many MLAs and leaders across the region. So they are trying to now they are trying to balance, and they're trying to pacify these their own party supporters and the voters, saying that we are bringing some change. They're trying to manipulate things, that they are trying to manipulate things and make people to forget whatever they did in last 3.5 years. Be it communal tensions or corruptions and the corruption allegation from their own party MLAs, their own party workers.
Okay, it's an interesting thing. You put it as manipulation. I'm not sure how, in the sense that it could also be taken as them listening to the concerns that have been raised and taking corrective steps. But interesting word you use there,
No,
manipulation,
not
so
in
that
that
people
case.
can forget.
In that case, they should have done it for all the people, all those who have faced the allegations, right?
Okay, fair enough. Let
It is only selective.
Lakshmi from the
It
BJP
is only.
respond
It
to
is
that very
only.
quickly.
One second. Just
That
a
this is
yeah, just a
purely an
second, just a
exercise to
second.
get away from the allegations, especially of corruption that you were facing. Yes, Lakshmi ji, very quickly, I want to go across to Sanket Yanagi as well.
First of all, our government is not facing any anti-incumbency wave at all. We
That's
have,
not
in
true.
fact,
Come on.
pro-incumbency wave. Our double-engine government has been tremendously successful in delivering on our promises that we have made during the election propaganda. We have delivered most of them, and we have for example, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi is a tremendous success in the state of Karnataka. Jal Jeevan Mission is a tremendous success in the state of Karnataka. Karnataka has emerged number one state in terms of number of startups, number of unicorns, and industrial base has been broad-based in the state of Karnataka, and more number of employment has been created. Infrastructural growth has seen some tremendous growth, and it has increased by leaps
Okay,
and
then
bounds.
why do you need so many new faces?
To represent young India, we have given new faces just to give the due representation, to represent a new India according to the requirement, because India, a major chunk of its population is youth. In Karnataka, 69% of the population is youth. To give them due representation, we have given representation to the new faces. They are from all walks of life, like doctors, engineers, and civil servants, former bureaucrats, and those who have served our country in the social and political sectors.
Okay.
They are not illiterate people.
Can I quickly go across to the Congress's Sanket Yanagi, who's also joining us? At least some of the big contests against some of your big guns have been decided. The ones against Mr. Siddaramaiah and the one against Mr. D.K. Shivkumar. But, you know, interestingly, the candidates from the BJP who are taking on your big guns have also been given a second seat. How do you read that, Mr. Yanagi?
Yeah, they do not have the candidates. In fact, so they are placing the same candidates in two places. Let us understand that basic thing. Secondly, so far, if you can see the history of the BJP in Karnataka, it has not come to power directly. All these days, it has come to power only through the back doors or Operation Lotus. So the BJP has never worked in the state of Karnataka or the Modi factor or Shah factor. Modi factor, Shah factor, or JP Nadda factor will never work in South India and also more particularly in the state of Karnataka.
No, let's not go to that. Let's discuss the seat distribution first. I'll come to all of those issues later. But the seat has come out, the seat list has come out. How do you read the fact about the contest with the one with D.K. Shivkumar, the one with Siddaramaiah, and the fact that they also have a fallback seat?
So they do not have the candidates for which reason they want to shift the responsibility on the leaders according to them. And secondly, I would say that does not make any change. They just want to shift the focus from other constituencies or the failures to those constituencies where the big wigs from the Congress are fighting. But nothing to worry, and we are least bothered about it. We don't want to take much time on that discussion as such. But I would only say,
do you feel, Mr. Yanagi, that some of this infighting or rebellion or revolt, which is now surfacing after their first list, is going to be to your benefit in the state?
We knew that since from the beginning. There are multiple camps in BJP, and it is only erupting because of the election, and that is the reason BJP. I have been saying that it is on ventilators since Mr. Bommai assumed the office of the chief minister. Since it was on a ventilator, oxygen has been removed now, so it is on the deathbed now. And nothing more to survive. And no one can see
Ms.
that
Lakshmi,
it could survive.
You want to respond to that? You are saying there is no anti-incumbency. He's saying your government is actually dead.
No, our government is so much vibrant. Our government is so welfareistic, and we have done our developmental politics in the state of Karnataka. Though we have been inflicted with corona wave and we could get only 1 year to actually serve the state of Karnataka, we have done wonderful things in the state of Karnataka. We are reflecting this, our budget has reflected this, because our internal debt has been decreased, and under the era of BJP, we have seen tremendous growth in the agricultural sector, in the industrial sector, and employment growth has been increased, and inflation rate is at ease. because of our rational economical policy and pro-youth, pro-women empowerment programs. We have successfully implemented so many programs. Our double-engine government has been tremendously successful in doing that.
Yes, Mr. Yanagi wants to come in very quickly, please, before I go back across to B.S. Arun.
And we have also maintained internal security of the state.
BJP is in a self-destruction mode. Nobody needs to be destructing them at this moment. They have their own lifetime, and the expiry date has come for the BJP in the South India, and it would be soon in the month of May. That's it.
Okay, B.S. Arun, I want to come back to you and just look at the distribution that the BJP has done. Let's look at it from the point of view of voting blocks. After the reservation card played for both the Vokaligas and the Lingayats, do you feel that the representation for both communities has been adequately taken care of by the BJP? And that's really going to be their trump card? In the last elections, their strike rate was pretty good for Lingayat seats.
They tried to manage something.
For Mr. B.S. Mr. Yanagi, I'll give you an opportunity to respond to that, but let Mr. B.S. Arun come in here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. BJP has given adequate representation. It's still, some more seats have to come. Only 189 were announced, and 224 seats, are the total. So still some more we can expect, because there are many unannounced seats from the northern Karnataka belt also, where the Lingayat population is there more in number. That said, and in addition to that, the tickets given to the Vokaligas has also been quite good, and I'm sure the party will tell these electorate that they have taken care of, and the demands have been met as far as the ticket distribution is concerned. And what remains to be seen is an important region of old Mysore area, the districts of Mysore, districts of Mandya, Ramnagara, Hassan, Kolar, where the party performed miserably in almost every election since 1991. And that is the crucial belt, as we all know, where the party has to perform. And this time what has happened is, party has denied tickets to a few people from this region also, and selected new ones. And as we all know that, the campaigning has been quite brisk with Prime Minister, with the Home Minister campaigning there. And it's a stronghold of the JDS as well as, Congress. And the coming back to power of BJP depends largely on their performance in this belt.
Okay. I want to go across to Sanket Yanagi very quickly. He can respond to the issue of the Lingayats and the Vokaligas, and then look at the larger picture. Yes, Mr. Yanagi, you wanted to come in then.
See, firstly, today, Lakshman Saudi, the former Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka in the BJP rule, has exposed what the BJP is. There is no morality left in the party, that is what he says. And then they talk about Tattva, Siddhanta and all, that all are bullshit in the party.
And you're wooing him. You're wooing Lakshman Savari, isn't it? Your Congress leaders are meeting him. Do you want him to come to your fold?
No, we are not chasing him. He has come out because of suffocation which he is facing, that there is no morality left in the party. And we never wanted him to resign. He himself has resigned from the party. He is suffocated because of the atmosphere where there is no morality left in the party. Party is now the power hunger, and the people are very greedy for the power, and they don't want to leave the party for so many reasons. And he has taken courage to come out and say that that is not the place for the people who have morality to continue in the party, and he has left it. He is openly saying, and now whatever said and done, one thing cannot be disputed. The facts are on record. What the state has seen since the last 4 years has the tragic moment, I would say, rather, that there is some rule in the state of Karnataka. There is nothing as such. Be it a case of a corruption, be it a case of a COVID management, be it a case of an oxygen supply, or be it a case of infrastructure development and the failure in that, be it a case of several issues of mismanagement.
Okay, no, so fair enough. I want to go across to the BJP representative very quickly on that larger question only. Already you're facing very many hurdles, right? There's been, at least perception-wise, poor performance. For example, Bengaluru is a prime example. And, for a state of Karnataka, for, the government of Karnataka, it matters what people in Bengaluru think, feel, and that has certainly not gone your way as far as the build-up to this election is concerned. Now you've got your own leaders, talking back or talking badly about your government or your party. Don't you think that this is all creating a wave of negativity for you, for the BJP before the elections?
Definitely not, ma'am. We have given due representation to the eligible, efficient, young, energetic people who could actually represent the young India, vibrant India. That is the utmost requirement of the need of the hour. So we have given due representation to them, and we have given due representation to all the caste and minority communities, and also minuscule minorities also.
Fair enough,
This
but
would
there
anyway
is no
affect
positivity
prospects.
associated with your government. That's what I'm saying. Ticket distribution can only take care of a certain amount of things. It cannot take care of the general feeling. And
This is
can you
the
name anything
misconception.
positive that people are talking about the government for?
This is the misconception, and our party management and party work has been misconstrued in that way, in such a manner by the opposition parties who don't have any substance to fight the upcoming elections. Now they've already lost confidence in the upcoming elections. Now they're doing all sort of unnecessary allegations about the government. We'll definitely get
That
over
is what
this
all
thing.
oppositions do in all states. That's not unique to Karnataka. But in many other BJP ruled states, more recently Gujarat, for example, there was no such negativity associated, and one could, even after the results and before that, arguably say that there was no anti-incumbency. But let me give the JDS representative and BS Arun a final word as well. Pratap Kanagal, ticket distribution only takes care of a certain amount of things, right? Those are the calculations every party makes. But overall, where do you think this battle is heading? On what issue is this battle being fought, the Karnataka battle?
See, I'll start with the previous thing you said about the Lingayats being the strike rate of BJP when it comes to Lingayat seats. See, last time the entire scenario was completely different. Last time, last 2018, it was like entire Lingayat community votes were consolidated because it was Yediyurappa's last chance to become a chief minister.
Okay.
So they solidarily
they came behind him. Fair enough. But
BJP.
this time you think that will not be the
That
case?
is one thing. Yeah, they start by that will not be the case. This time it will not be the case. It will not be a solid voting. There will not be a solid vote to BJP.
Okay.
That is one thing. Because there is no credible face in BJP as of now. There's no credible face that there's no clean face at all. Every second person is had some allegations or some scandal or something they are attached with.
Okay,
so
can I give BS Arun? I'm running out of time. Can I give?
This election will be fought as per corruption, and also the injustice being done to Karnataka in terms of various schemes or jobs and all those things from the union government and state government.
Injustice. Okay, I don't have time to get into that, what you mean by injustice, but of course we'll be discussing all of these issues in the run-up to the elections. BS Arun, final word to you as well. Ultimately, good, tactful ticket distribution or not, how difficult is this battle for the BJP overall? Because it is being considered that it is a tough fight for them. The Karnataka is one of those states where the Congress at least has big faces and has a unit that functions, which is a criticism they face in other states, that their hierarchy or their machinery has broken down. But Karnataka is not that state. And you've got a lot of anti-incumbency against the current government, at least in terms of allegations.
Yes, and they are fighting against history also. For the last 40 years, no government has made a return, no party has made a return to the government. And that's where the BJP's problems lie. And, all these allegations, the administration not being so good, the Bengaluru issue of, the floods and other things. And, these finally now we come to the ticket distribution where, certain Lingayat leaders are unhappy. Although ticket distribution number-wise, there has not been much sort of injustice to them. But then will this, the setback faced by the party because of these leaders like Jagdish Shetty, a leader who is respected in the Hubli Dharwad region, whether these things, even Lakshman Savadi you mentioned, he is also a Lingayat. He departing from the party in the Belgaum, the Mumbai Karnataka region, how much would it affect? All these things need to be considered, and certainly BJP will have a tough fight on hand.
Okay. Well, that certainly seems to be the consensus, barring the BJP representative and the BJP itself. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. We'll see how this battle continues as far as the seat distribution is concerned. Moving on, the unrest in the Rajasthan unit of the Congress continues as Sachin Pilot staged a dharna against his own Gehlot-led government yesterday. The hunger strike came in the backdrop of his allegations that the government is not taking action on corruption cases against former Chief Minister and BJP leader Vasundhara Raje. Pilot termed this as a fight against corruption, while the party high command sees it as an anti-party activity. Sachin Pilot is in Delhi. He reached last night and is likely to meet the Congress chief tomorrow, we are told. What does Sachin Pilot want this time? Well, demand number one is that there should be an inquiry into Raje government's mine allocation, which is being claimed to be a scam worth 45,000 crore rupees. Demand number two, that there should be a probe into all allegations of corruption cases during the BJP's term, and that the Congress must deliver on this because it is one of their poll promises, a crackdown on corruption. Meanwhile, the Congress in charge of Rajasthan, Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, met party chief Mallikarjun Kharge in the capital today. Randhawa submitted a report on Sachin Pilot's fast in Jaipur. This is what we know of the report. One, it has video and audio recording of the fast that Sachin Pilot was part of and mounted. It includes an assessment of people who joined Sachin Pilot's dharna. And we are also being told that this has details of Sachin's quote, anti-party statements. Clearly, the winds are still not blowing in Pilot's favour in Rajasthan as far as the Congress High Command is concerned. Meanwhile, today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while launching Rajasthan's first Vande Bharat train, referred to the Chief Minister as a friend, but also took a dig at the ongoing political crisis and the rebellion Gehlot is facing. Listen.
गहलोत जी का विशेष रूप से मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि इन दिनों वो राजनीतिक आपाधापी में उनका अनेक संकटों से वो गुजर रहे हैं, उसके बावजूद भी विकास के काम के लिए समय निकाल करके आए, रेलवे कार्यक्रम में हिस्सा लिया, ये मैं उनका स्वागत भी करता हूं, अभिनंदन भी करता हूं.
The Prime Minister certainly deemed it as some grave danger to Gehlot, but is it? Doesn't seem to be. But overall, this Gehlot versus Pilot battle continues to simmer. Is this going to ultimately sink the Congress in Rajasthan, and is it being done to do so? We'll take that debate forward.
पत्र लिखने के बाद दो बार याद दिलाने के बाद भी जब कार्रवाई नहीं हुई, और मैंने कई पत्र लिखे मुख्यमंत्री जी को, आमतौर पर जवाब आ जाता था, लेकिन इन 2 पत्रों का जवाब नहीं आया.
पहली बार एक राज्य ने जो उपलब्धि हासिल की है स्कीमों की, वो राज्य स्कीमों का नेतृत्व प्रदान कर रहा है अन्य राज्यों को. ये हमारे लिए गौर की बात है.
देखेंगे, अभी उन सभी से बात करेंगे, पूरा घटनाक्रम देखेंगे. कल जो उन्होंने भाषण दिए हैं, जो भी किया, उनको मैं स्टडी कर रहा हूँ.
Let's go across to the guests who are joining us. Rakhi Rathore, Rajasthan BJP spokesperson. I'm also joined with Sanjay Jha, political analyst who's been with the Congress party formally. Tushar Gupta, senior editor, Swarajya magazine, is also with us. I can see Rashid Kirwai, senior journalist who tracks the Congress party closely as well. The Congress has declined to be a part of this debate formally and officially. And Sanjay Jha, no surprises why. This is continuing to be a thorn in the Congress's backside, if I may use that term. And it is not going anywhere. You know, they've tried to sort it out. They've obviously made their intentions very clear as far as the party high command is concerned. But Sachin Pilot is at it again. How serious do you think this can be for the Congress party? Because it's not unheard of, but it is still a little crazy that you're sitting on a dharna against your own government.
Well, I think we are clearly living in a parallel universe here, no doubt about it. And if the Congress party was in the center, I would have almost excused, some degree of political arrogance or hubris leading to this kind of an internecine feud. But this battle between Mr. Pilot and Mr. Gehlot has been happening for a long time.
Yes.
Definitely it escalated after the 2018 elections. Both of them had their reasons, but Mr. Pilot definitely felt that he should have been the chief minister. Now, what is astounding and frankly unfathomable is why the Congress leadership, and I'm talking about those who are designated to handle the state and those who are frankly sitting in New Delhi, including the Congress Working Committee. That's a job, right? To troubleshoot when you have a problem at a state level. Everyone has snoozed and slept and been somnambulating over this whole issue. It's sleepwalking all the way through. And now you have an election in 8-9 months. And if anybody believed that this problem will just kind of evaporate into thin air, I mean, they were clearly living in a fool's paradise. I think there's one positive that is emerging out of it. That's the only silver lining I can see.
Okay.
Is that it is happening still 9 months before an election. And the Congress now will be hard pressed to take a call. This is not the way to run a political party, in my opinion, where you allow senior leaders. These are powerful brands. Mr. Gehlot has been a chief minister 3 times, and Sachin definitely is the future. And if you're going to allow their relationship to become so acrimonious publicly, sporadically every 3 months, you damage the party's credibility in a very crucial state. And I think that's absolutely inexcusable, in my opinion. But the only hope that I can see is now there will have to be some steps taken. The Congress has to take one simple call. If you want Mr. Gehlot to continue as the chief minister, so be it. But who's going to be the face of the party going forward? In my opinion, logically, it should be Sachin. But I don't know.
But I think the party has made up its mind, right? After the rebellion last year itself, the party put its hand on Mr. Gehlot. My question is, and Rashid Kidwai can come here, Sanjay Jha feels that the party is just dealing the inevitable. They'll have to do something. Today, if we hear some of the murmurs from the party, it is clear that they're not looking at Sachin Pilot's actions very favorably. And so was the case after the last rebellion, where he even lost his position as the deputy chief minister. What I am not understanding is, where is Sachin Pilot coming from when he sees nothing go his way? It's clearly there are no doors opening for him despite these rebellions.
It's a war of attrition that is going on in the Congress. There is a lot of posturing on the part of Mr. Sachin Pilot, Ashok Gehlot, Tukab, and Mr. Randhawa, who is General Secretary in charge. But in nutshell, what I see, Shivani, what's going to happen is there's going to be some kind of breakthrough. It will not be a repeat of, Navjot Sidhu and Chandi kind of experience of Punjab, but one plan A, according to my mind, Mr. Sachin Pilot may be drafted in the CWC, made AICC General Secretary, etc., or he's made Rajasthan Congress, Pradesh, the State Congress Unit Chief. So this is one of the 2 options that Mr. Kharge is to decide, and Mr. Pilot to agree. This is the long and short of it.
But Rashid Kidwai, why is it taking so long? As Sanjay Jha is saying, it may be still 8-9 months before elections, but this is a situation that has been ongoing for years. So why is it taking so long for the Congress party? Or is it that for them, they have taken the decision, it is for Mr. Pilot to get the hint?
Yes, I think, Shivani, it's all mix of all these things. Why do you call it a grand old party? Because the Congress is quite allergic to change. You look at the BJP in contrast, they also face a lot of, dissent and a lot of disquiet in the party units of Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh, etc. But the crisis management is very swift. And there is one power center. In the Congress, we do not know if Kharge is in charge or Gandhi is in charge. A lot of political kho-kho goes on in the sense that, the Gandhis would expect Kharge to take a call. Kharge would wait for a signal from Gandhi. So all these things are there. But I think there is a, realization after yesterday's dharna that something has to be done.
Yeah, something has to be done, and it is clear that at least from what we are hearing, nobody is looking at it very favorably for Mr. Pilot. But before I get to Mr. Pilot's future course of action, as Sanjay Jha said, that he should be the party's face, but clearly the party is not deciding that. Let me bring in the BJP's Rakhi in as well. Rakhi, how do you see the fact that Sachin Pilot is regularly poking holes in the governance of his own government and is sitting on a dharna, was sitting on a dharna against, the Congress's chief minister?
Look, Shivani, actually, this is because of the weak leadership they have in the center, because the question raised by Tushar and Rashid, The answer is one line. They have a weak leadership in the center, and that is why we have seen this kind of political drama since 2018 in Rajasthan. And these statements which were given by Sachin Pilot on Sunday is out of frustration because they are not able to control the level of language they have shared with each other, like Nakara, Nikamma, Gaddar type of languages they have used for each other. And this is the reason, because of this conflict between these two senior leaders, that the state government, as the state government is not able to perform properly. In fact, they failed to perform in each and every department, and this is the basic reason. But I want to thank Shivani, Mr. Sachin Pilot, that he raised the issue of corruption in the state, because we have seen corruption in each and every department of the state.
He is raising the corruption during your regime.
Now, we are ready to face any kind of inquiry, and Shivani, it is very obvious that during this election year, if they will be able to conduct any inquiry and will be able to prove that something was wrong during BJP tenure, then they are going to get a benefit out of it. So I think it is very obvious, but they know that nothing would be done, because the Chief Minister has constituted a Mathur Commission in his previous tenure, and nothing came out of that report. So they know that nothing is, they don't have any potential evidence regarding these corruption charges. And that is why, because Sachin Pilot was a member of, he was a part of the government in first 1.5 years.
Yes.
And he is also a member of assembly, but he has never raised these issues earlier. So this is the question. So it is all politically influenced.
So it's all opportunism and really an infighting which is spilling into what the BJP's rule was. But Tushar Gupta, you look at the optics of what is happening. At the central level, Rahul Gandhi, no longer the Congress chief, but clearly the face of the party, is leading a corruption fight against the central government, right? On the issue of Adani, every day. You've got your own leader, Sachin Pilot, again a young leader of your party. Sanjay Jha certainly feels he's the future of the party in Rajasthan. He's leading a corruption, march of sorts against your own government in Rajasthan. He's saying you are not acting on corruption. How does it look? I mean, in today's day and world, what happens in Rajasthan is not limited to just Rajasthan.
It's embarrassing for the Congress, for the lack of a better word. It's embarrassing. There's no other way to describe it. They saw it happening in Madhya Pradesh. They couldn't control it. I mean, you can tweet all the philosophical quotes about time and patience, but at the end of the day, you need to keep the party together. In Punjab, it was Navjot Singh Sidhu publicly coming out against Captain Amrinder Singh, who then resigned before the elections were due. Now, if you had installed Navjot Singh Sidhu as the head of the party, why was there a need to get Charanjit Singh Channi in? Another embarrassment, the election was lost. Now coming to Rajasthan, again the same story. Now, the conflict between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot is not new.
Yeah.
But there has not been any sincere attempt from the party leadership to resolve it.
But what
now,
should
Shivani,
they do?
The question is very simple.
Tushar, I actually feel
with
here the Congress has given enough hints. What can they do? Short of, they've stripped Mr. Pilot of his, designations. What else is there to do? Either then they make it clear to him that he needs to go.
Exactly. So either they invest in him as the future of the party, which Sanjay Jha is suggesting, and rightfully so. Either they tell Gehlot that Sachin Pilot is the future of the Congress in Rajasthan and in the region, and we want to back him to win us the Lok Sabha seats in 24, or you show him the door. You have to do either of the two things, because this public conflict, this public embarrassment happening again and again doesn't bode well for the party just 9 months before the elections, just a year before the national elections. It's clear that Ashok Gehlot has the MLAs on his side. It is very clear that Sachin Pilot cannot get 100 MLAs or take down the government.
Yeah.
So what is the right option for the Congress? Either settle down the conflict between the two, tell who's the future and who's the present, or simply show one the door. That is how it needs to be dealt with. But somehow within the leadership, there is this notion that not doing anything is also doing something.
Actually, it's damned if you do or damned if you don't for the Congress party. In Punjab, they did do something and it didn't work for them. Right? In Punjab, the question is, why did you need to boot out Amrinder Singh in the manner that you do? So, sometimes it is a tricky one, but unfortunately for the Congress party, whether they take a call or they don't take a call, sometimes it's harsh calls or easy calls. There's no way to know whether it will go their way. They have to be very clear. The BJP formula doesn't always work for them. But Sanjay Jha, you wanted to come in here. I think the Congress has taken the call that it wanted to take. It has given a clear message. Now, what are the options for Sachin Pilot? Instead of keep doing this, or really just make a fresh start for himself?
Shivani, I'll try and answer all your questions very succinctly. Point number one, and I again speak with some degree of confidence here. The Gandhis did want, and I say Gandhis means, the leadership pre Mr. Kharge, they did want Sachin to become the chief minister a little earlier during the course of this year or late last year. Number one. Point number two, the insurrection that Mr. Gehlot himself did on his own party. You remember the time when the Congress president election was coming up. He hijacked his own MLAs because his intention was to be both the chief minister and the Congress president. I think Mr. Gehlot, frankly, in a great number of ways, committed political harakiri, and his credibility with many people in the Congress high command today remains highly fragile. Point number three, if that insurrection against his own party was not an anti-party activity, clearly for Sachin Pilot to make a statement on political corruption against the BJP, just because Mr. Gehlot's government hasn't done it, cannot be deemed as an internal sabotage. Now, let me be very frank with you. I believe this is where Indian politics needs to change. At least people like us will change it when we become mainstream. See, the point is, assuming all of us on this program are part of one party, and assuming that if I was your leader, if you didn't agree with me and you were critical about some of my policies publicly, so what? I think that's pretty much a part for the course. I think the truth is simple here, that end of day, the Congress leadership has been extremely ham-handed and, in my opinion, very lazy in trying to take a tough decision. Politics is about recognizing that you are going to be constantly biting the bullet. Now the point is that it doesn't have to be either or. You see, the problem when the leadership doesn't understand the problem, they think if you favor Gehlot, then Sachin has to be out of the party. If we make Sachin the man, then Gehlot will rebel and go to the other side. I mean, the politics is the art of managing this in a very intelligent way, where you actually have both people working together to make sure that Congress makes a unique comeback in a swing state that is going to likely go the BJP way if you follow past historical trends. This is a leadership decision. Mr. Kharge has to take the call, and I don't know what is he waiting for.
Well, honest. Mr. Kharge is possibly not taking the calls. Let's face it as well. If he was, then maybe we could blame him, but let's be fair to him. Rashid Kidwai, final word to you as well. So, what is in store for the next few months, you think? Where do you think the Congress High Command, quote unquote, will take those tough decisions? Those delicate decisions, can they handle it delicately and placate both sides, give something to both sides, as Sanjay Jha is saying, not lose out on either of the faces, which they anyways cannot afford to do, I think? Or are they just going to wait and see how this plays out?
Shivani, purely in theoretical terms, all of that Sanjay Jha is saying is the realm of possibility. But on the practical side, there are a lot of problems. Congress High Command is very weak. It is divided between one side Gandhi, the other side Kharge. Then we must also remember the whole issue of funding Bharat Jodo Yatra, funding this Congress coffers are empty, and the chief ministers are known to have some kind of leverage in such matters. So Mr. Ashok Gehlot just can come from that, and the BJP is not that innocent. You see how the Prime Minister tried to drag Mr. Ashok Gehlot today, and the spokesperson here in our panel is trying to sympathize with Sachin Pilot. So there's a lot of politics that is happening.
But they will do it. You can't blame them. They will fish in troubled waters.
I am narrating. I am not blaming. I am just narrating this thing. So I am saying that there are lots of things are not as easy as Mr. Sanjay Jha thinks, because there are a lot of complications out there.
I'll just disagree with one thing what Sanjay Jha has said. In politics, I think it's not okay that you criticize a leader publicly. It doesn't always work. You need to have some discipline, and you can thrash it out behind closed doors. But what Sachin Pilot is doing is not necessarily the only way to keep your government on track. But yes, Rashid Kidwai, please finish quickly, then I'll bring in final comments from our other two guests.
So I'm saying that this is the real problem of Congress. When they are handling a crisis, they don't know how to resolve it. And there are a lot of people like Mr. Randhawa who are there to spoil that whole thing. This whole business of giving report, etc., is something that is going to create a lot of problems from time to come. I mean, I'm saying in the next couple of days or so.
Okay, very quickly, I've got just a minute left. Rakhi, I mean, I don't know how delicately I can put it, but are you going to want Sachin Pilot to come to you? That's the only way I can ask this.
Shivani, it's a very hypothetical kind of question because, Sachin Pilot has never indicated anything and no statement was given by BJP as well. So I think this question is not, I can't answer this question right now because it's nothing like that right now. But the point of the fact is that the people of Rajasthan are fed up with the political drama, which is happening from last many years, in fact, from 4.5 years. And
Yes.
Chief Minister is busy in taking care of his chief ministership only.
Yeah,
so this
fair
is the
enough.
problem with the
No, that's a fair
ultimately
point. And
the
public
people
will take
who are
note of that.
suffering.
One second, Tushar, very quickly, I've got 15-20 seconds left only. What do you think is the road ahead for Sachin Pilot? BJP?
Not really. Sachin Pilot has a better shot at having an independent party, but again, he doesn't have the numbers. He is trying to get something he cannot conquer with the numbers he has. Gehlot is trying to hold on to something he cannot have forever. And the party leadership is just sitting mum, giving all the benefit to the BJP 6 months ahead of elections.
All
For
right.
Pilot, there is nothing to gain from it. For BJP, there is everything to gain.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us for that candid discussion. I have to slip into a very short break. On the other side, we'll get you more news and updates.
Cannot really sniff it, did not get the smell of it, which is why it becomes easy to smuggle this. Now, this is being smuggled from Latin American countries, but apart from that, from Africa as well. And right now, what we see is from NCB, we've understood that there is a unique modus operandi, particularly for this, so that it goes undetected. What is being done is that female peddlers are being used. Female peddlers, in fact, are using the code of sanitary napkin when someone wants to purchase it, and which is why we see that in this case, because females are being used, the code word is sanitary napkin, and the whole component is changed. Because the component is changed, there's no detection, which makes it easier for peddlers to smuggle this. Now, the main route that is being used to smuggle this is ideally the air route or the sea route. It's not ideally be coming in from the land route. Through air route, it's easier because what we see is that mostly the cities which are under the scanner include Goa and Mumbai. Particularly during the festival season is where we see that this particular duck is quite in demand. It's an expensive duck also, because what we see is that for 1 gram, the rate is approximately anywhere between 28,000 to 30,000. So which is where, because it's an expensive duck, it's ideally used in parties in some of the big cities.
Now, in a major crackdown, the Narcotics Control Bureau has seized more than 3 kgs of black cocaine valued at 13 crores at the Mumbai International Airport. But what's making it difficult for the agencies is the fact that these drugs are being sold on the dark net. CNN News 18's Yesha Kotak brings us this exclusive report for more about the threat of black cocaine. Take a look.
Black cocaine is the latest designer drug in the market. The Narcotics Control Bureau seized more than 3 kg of black cocaine valued at 13 crores. But what's making it difficult for agencies is the fact that these drugs are being sold on the dark net. Drug traffickers mix cocaine with coal, cobalt and activated carbon to make black cocaine. The black cocaine cartel is being run by women, and the code word used for transactions is sanitary napkin. They're in demand in Mumbai, Goa, Hyderabad, Chennai and Bengaluru, and they largely smuggled from South Africa.
Agencies have now come across a trend wherein some of these drugs, which are a part of the larger drug cartel, are in fact sold online. Some of these which are sold online include hydroponic ganja, imported ganja, ecstasy and designer drugs, which also includes the like of black cocaine. What really do these drug peddlers do with these designer drugs? They change the chemical component of these drugs so that they cannot be bought under the scanner and can be easily smuggled across various platforms, be it the air platform, that is at the airport, or for that matter in ship, where these smuggling activities are in fact on radar by the agencies. Apart from that, when it comes to these designer drugs, they are now in fact also sold on darknet so that they cannot be bought under the radar of agencies. Some of these platforms, now some of these darknet platforms as well as drugs, are a major challenge for the agencies, and going further could be a new trend in the larger drug market.
Black cocaine is also sold on Telegram and Instagram. Suppliers are paid in Bitcoin on these platforms so as to not leave behind traces of transactions.
The reason being why the people prefer darknet is that your computer has a unique IP address which can be tracked or traced, and the investigating agencies or law and enforcement agencies can reach you with this IP address. But when you are using the dark web or darknet for surfing or buying certain things online, your IP address is masked, or so if at all somebody wants to trace you, it's very impossible, next to impossible. And the payment that takes place is through bitcoins, where there is no bank statement or the transaction ID or unique transaction ID which can reflect into a bank or onto your mobile phone, which can have some traceability or trackability.
The NCB busted a big cartel related to black cocaine in Goa during Christmas last year. Now, they've added 2 dogs to their team to ensure timely detection.
We had information that some passengers are bringing some cocaine or some contraband from Latin American countries. So we put a surveillance and we come across some suspicious individuals. Among that, one lady we zeroed it down. And after questioning her, we found some suspicious black colored substance into her bag. So the substance was new to us. When we examined that carefully, we found that it was not, the sniffers were not able to sniff it, and it was not visible in the scanning also. Then we got more suspicious. We found later on, she confessed that is a black cocaine.
But experts say such drugs could easily evade these authorities.
If you bring this cocaine in a proper form, so it can be detected. But they have taken another route and they have make the mixtures with the pure cocaine, with the charcoal, with the cobalt salt, with the iron salt, and they mix accordingly and they prepare the color of this original cocaine is white. And if you mix with this charcoal and all that, it becomes black. And it is very difficult for the sniffer dogs to find it out.
Some of these designer drugs have been around in countries like the US for more than a decade. But the trend is only catching on in India now.
The capital city of Karnataka is a vibrant city. Bengaluru is also known as IT city and also famous for startups. But yes, the city has hit the headlines for all the wrong reasons many a time because of the pothole menace. Right now we are at Yediyurappa circle, which happens to be one of the important circle in the Bengaluru there again. So which has in fact there are roads that are dug up in this particular circle, but no civic body is held accountable for this because there again the vehicles, in fact the commuters also having a back pain ride. Also that's the kind of situation that the IT city is witnessing ahead of the assembly elections. CM Basuraj Bommai always assured the family members that the potholes will be filled across the cities and also gave an assurance that there would not be any such unfortunate incidents further. But nothing had changed, only there were probes that were being ordered.
Do you remember the events that defined us in the last 50 weeks?
Wow, 50 weeks. We saw power shifts.
There were triumphs. We weathered storms.
The very earth shook right under our feet.
We saw new worlds.
And the birth of a new intelligence. But we never let our
eye waver.
We brought you the news that mattered.
Your trust has made us
India's #1 news channel
for 50
straight weeks.
And we're only getting started.
CNN News 18.
Sensible.
Credible. Always.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching News Epicenter. I'm Anusha Soni. The battle of 2024 is the political match to watch out for. One oft-asked question is BJP versus who? Can the opposition really provide an alternative to the Modi factor? The huddle and the shudder within the opposition ranks is obviously understandable. There is no one big political face on which the opposition can bank upon. Regional satraps have expressed national ambitions, with most refusing to accept the dominance or the leadership of the Congress party. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge met Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and his deputy Tejasvi Yadav in the national capital. On the agenda is the ambitious plan of a larger opposition unity ahead of 2024. And if opposition unity is to be understood well beyond these joint press conferences and dharnas, it's tangibly translated into forging alliances and seat sharing. In the run-up to the big battle of 2024, as I said, will the opposition be able to stitch together a grand alliance? Is there any real alternative to Brand Modi? Will the clash of the individual ambitions within the opposition ranks lead to a scattered agenda? And can there be a single unified opposition to take on the blitzkrieg of the BJP? Well, the opposition may have united over Rahul Gandhi's disqualification, but can he truly be the glue for a united front? All these questions are focused on News Epicenter tonight.